In this tutorial we're going to concentrate on live flight logging at the flight line. What you're seeing now is the first screen that the duty clerks will see when they log in the morning, and the first thing we're going to do is to enter some information about the weather and the wind conditions in case we ever need to refer back to the day. What we're then going to do is to enter a default tug pilot for the day and a default tug. The other thing we can do, is desirable but not essential, is enter information about who the other people are that are on duty for the day, and that will include the instructors, the launch marshals, that's what we call them, you may call them launch coordinators, whatever, just so that we have a complete record of who's been on duty on the day in case we ever need to refer back to it. Now, screen real estate is always an issue, particularly on tablets at the flight line, and so even though you don't see many people in the list, there is a search facility at the top, so you can just put in part of a surname, click on the little magnifying glass, and the person you need will be in the list ready for them to click on and add to the record. Once you've done that, you create the record and then you're ready to start flight logging. So we'll start with an easy one, which is a standard club flight. Unfortunately, just off the screen, I didn't quite catch the screen, and we're going to enter information for the pupil. Again, we just put in part of the surname, wait for it to appear in the list and then select them, and we do the same for the instructor or the pilot in charge. Part of a surname, wait for the list to appear, click, and we do with the same for an aircraft, just a partial ident, just something to make it unique, and then we select it from the list. You'll notice that the tug height default has come in, and the tug ident and the tug pilot have all come in as defaults, so nothing to do there. And the red line indicates there may be an issue that needs addressing. In this case, it's that the P1 might need a check flight. Red lines don't stop you flying, they just alert you to the fact that something needs to be addressed. Then we click the clock, and you'll see that the uptime comes in, so that flight is now in the air and happily flying away. So next we're going to have a look at entering an intro flight. Member of the public's turned up, wants to fly, all good for the treasurer's point of view, money in the bank. So we bring the record up, we select the product that they want. In this case we're going to do the weekend flight. We're going to put the customer's name that's going to appear. You'll notice that the amount to pay is already filled in, that's been pulled from the product file, and we're just going to now select the payment method, which in this case is going to be a debit card. Okay, you'll notice immediately the amount paid gets completed, and another box appears which requires the last 4 digits of the credit card, and this is just for accounting purposes so that everything will be tied up when all the statements come through. Big bugbear of mine, facilities are available to collect email addresses so you can do some post marketing to them, and also some market research questions like how did they find out about the club. All useful information to the marketeers within the organisation. Please, please, please try and get the information. Okay, so we're nearly there. What we have to do now, again it's slightly off the screen, is go to the trial lessons for today. Select the one that we've just entered, and then there's a button there that says fly. We click on the fly button, and another screen pops up, and this time you'll see that the customer's name is already filled in. We just need to put the name of the instructor in there and the aircraft that they will be flying in. Let's have a nice Pukats. I love that aircraft, my favourite. Click on create, and you will then see them appear in the list, and again ready to click the clock and have them fly. And they're in the air. So the first aircraft down, let's land him. We just click the clock again, and the time will come in. In this occasion, it's asking a question because it's a short flight. It wants to know whether it was a launch failure. We've said no to that, so the flight then gets costed at the normal rates. We go to the landed flights tab and you'll see that the fee has been calculated already, and that's all there is to it, landing a flight. So now what we'll do, because somebody's obviously missed this one down, so we're going to manually enter the downtime, and you can do this on any flight because things happen. People are talking, aircraft get missed, so we just fill in the time by hand. If necessary, we can change the tug height, and then we click on save. In this case, because it's an intro flight, it won't make the slightest bit of difference to the price, but if it was a standard club flight, then the price will be recalculated, and then we'll show you that in a second. So what we're going to do now is have a look at that first flight, which was 2196. Keep a note of that. We're going to change the tug height. We've had a radio down that's saying it actually went to 3,000 feet. A bit hard to imagine with a 2-minute flight, but you get the impression. And you'll see now that the flight has automatically been recalculated because the launch fee is increased. So that's about it. There are facilities for guest flights, mutual or passenger flights, returning temporary visitors, and the next one we're going to concentrate on is the rapid entry. Rapid entry was developed for clubs that have limited 3G access or even slow 4G. It requires precise membership number information in order to work, because it doesn't do any processing whatsoever until the create button is clicked. So no surnames, no lists popping up. You just need to enter the membership number of the P2, the membership number of the P1, part of the aircraft ident, and then you just click create. At that point you'll get a message to say that everything is okay. If you don't, it will be in the rapid entry error list. In this case everything is fine, and so all we need to do is click the clock and put the aircraft in the air. And so that's it for this tutorial. Please visit www.free-flights.info for more information, or contact me. My Skype ID is RocketmanDLGC.